And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Back again. Dipcatcher Radio with yet another exciting announcement. Before I get started, is the music too loud? I like the music on, but sometimes in the last couple of videos it's been too loud. So if my audio is okay, someone let me know. How's it sound? Music is just right. Perfect. Well, another exciting announcement. Today we are announcing a new product, which is actually an old product. It's actually the original idea for the perpetuals. Is called Maximus Pool Party. Pool Party is a platform that empowers people and communities to launch their own trustless hex stake pools. Basically, kind of how we launched the perpetuals with Team. We now enable anyone to do that. All the same benefits that we harp on forever about pool staking apply to this, where you can earn higher yield than staking on your own because the bigger pays better bonuses. The main benefit is the pooling of the gas and the stake. And then also, these are transferable coins, so you can sell or transfer them if you want. So we're really excited about that. The website is hexpool.party. So why don't we go through this and then we'll talk about what's going on. I'm sharing my screen now. So this is Pool Party, better way to stake hex. We've been talking about this for years now. You know the drill: higher yield, gas fee savings, and instant liquidity. The pregame in 2022, we invented trustless hex stake pools, allowing people to earn more yield, save on gas, and have instant liquidity. We launched 5 pools, and they were a massive success, pooling over 1 billion hex, currently worth around $67.7 million from about 17,000 participating addresses. And then now, to expand the hex ecosystem, we're now opening the gates for anyone to utilize our proprietary trustless smart contracts to launch their own hex stake pool, along with an innovative platform to support them. Let's party. Party stakers, party starters, aka pool creators, will have the power to design their pool, including the name, ticker, mint period, duration, organizer fee, and stake length. Pool Party will offer an easy-to-use minting interface to party starters that will be ready to go when a pool is created. So that means that if you were to launch a pool, much like you would go to the interfaces to just mint your hex into the pool token for base, trio, lucky, desi, and maxi, you'll be able to do that for any of these pools. And then the active pools will be listed on Pool Party, offering free exposure to grow your pool and increase staking bonuses. So here's a mock-up of what it might look like. The pool brand, so name, handle, ticker, Twitter and Telegram is optional, mint phase, and stake structure. And then built in will be a T-share marketplace where you can discover the best deals on hex stakes. So this will show you just all the available pools, some of the stats with backing value, premium discount, T-share price, days remaining, current APY, and it'll make it really easy for you to just buy these pools. Because really, like at the end of the day, we want the most people to get the best deal possible on hex stakes. So we really want to be able to surface this information for people. Join the party. Pool Party is community owned. Anyone can become a co-owner by minting 42,069 party per ETH submitted to the contract during a one-time only mint phase, starting at launch and lasting 30 days. After that, no more party will ever be minted. Party holders earn rewards from the use of Pool Party tools. So this is exciting. For the first time ever in a Maximus product, aside from, we've had some virtual airdrops, like the Maxi burn that was in the team launch. That was like a virtual airdrop because it's basically increased everyone's Maxi backing value. So that was like a virtual airdrop there. And the Hedron deployer airdropped a couple billion or a couple hundred billion Hedron into the Poly contract. So, shout out to Hedron Deployer for another kind of virtual airdrop that, increased the backing value of the tokens, but wasn't like, like the launch of a new coin with airdrops, because all these have been kind of like a standard one-to-one mint. But just to reward everyone and thank everyone for participating with us this year, we are going to be including a party airdrop where anyone who holds any Maximus token during the snapshot will be able to claim their share of 10% of the total party supply. The snapshot will be done privately sometime between 7 days from now and when it launches. Just so people don't game the system and do any funny business, no one will know when it happens. And no one will know what the breakdown is going to be, like which token, so 10% of the total party supply is going to be distributed amongst all the holders of all these tokens. And, of course, like, the DCA token, one DCA is not equal to one poly, for instance, just in terms of like supply. So it's, so each coin will have its own kind of weight, related to it, for the airdrop. And that will be, it'll only become clear after it happened. So that's just to be fair to everyone. We don't want people to game the system. But, overall, we're really thankful for everyone who's participated in all the Maximus assets so far. We've had, done amazing things. I saw today that the net asset value of the pool tokens, so that's Maxi Base, Trio, Deci, Lucky, and Poly, that has exceeded $100 million. That's very exciting. So that's the underlying value plus yield to date. So that was a pretty exciting accomplishment, and we just want to reward all the people that have been rocking with us. We want them to share in the upside of just like the kind of the next iteration of all this. Throughout this whole experience, we've learned so much about how to effectively roll out these launches. We've learned a lot about the dynamics of these assets, made mistakes, had crazy highs, crazy lows, came out of all that with a world of experience, and we're ready to keep pushing forward. So we want to take you all on that ride with us. So let's go over some FAQs, and then I will touch on, I'll go through the chat and we'll answer all the questions there. So when launch? So, the contracts are basically done because it's the perpetual contract. Basically, with just like the fee structure modified compared to the regular one. And last night I almost completed the pool party token, so the launch and the reward distribution to the pool party token holders. So currently undergoing testing. Hopefully we'll get that on testnet for you guys next week. And then, so from there, it could be very soon. And also, so I do want to touch on this. So this idea, it came about in 2022, like right after Maxi. Like this was like the first thing that we were going to launch. And so we, so we'd actually done a lot of speccing out of this, and it was actually like the perpetuals contract was actually, I started writing it with this sort of thing in mind. So this was like the original idea before the perpetuals, but then we thought that it would probably be better rather than to for the first wave of stake pools to just kind of be a free for all. We thought it should be a little bit more deliberate in terms of the the lengths and just consolidating, because realistically, less is more in this case. But this is something we've always wanted to do, and we were probably going to do it around Pulse, when Pulse Chain launched. At the time we were thinking that Pulse Chain was very soon, and with gas fees not so much of an issue hopefully on Pulse Chain. It's still, but now that it's not the original Pulse Chain version, I still think that the gas fees could be a substantial issue, but we figured it was time for this. And then also, like like most of you have probably heard, there are people that are trying to kind of replicate this kind of model, like our stake pool model. And frankly, rather than letting other forces that who knows what, like, if they're I'm sure that they're not malicious, and I don't know about their capabilities in terms of delivering product, but just to protect users from unexperienced people that maybe don't have the experience in hex stake pooling that we do. We just figured that we'd rather because dilution is inevitable. So if there's dilution of demand for pooled hex stakes, it's better that it comes from within the Maximus ecosystem than from without. And so we just felt that now it's time to just bite the bullet and time to unleash this thing. And so but luckily, I mean, the existing pools definitely have a baked in advantage. The T-share rate was like 10% less when they launched. They're just massive. And also, I mean, they've already been pooled. It's like, say in October when base comes around, it's like it's already starting at 100 million. It'll be like 110 million hex in there. And so, like, when you're joining these pools, it's like you're always getting a better deal the larger they are. And so, with base being featured here in the on the dashboard for there, it's like it'll basically just trump all the other ones available there. So it's like we are like this is a cutthroat zero sum game, and to protect our ecosystem, we're fully intent in taking on all competition, and we do that by launching better products, getting to market faster, and not relying on pre-product launch funding to hire other people to hopefully get it done. It's like everything as per usual. 10th time in a row, this will launch fully complete. No future work is required. All the minting happens after the contracts are on mainnet. And so, we feel like we have these competitive advantages, and, to protect our ecosystem, we're going to leverage that to the fullest. So I'm sure that, the guys that are launching the other thing, I'm sure they're nice people, whatever, but, it's a ruthless game, and we're ruthless competitors. So that's just the reality of it. So when launch pretty soon, hopefully end of March. That might be a stretch, but maybe not actually. I mean, it's basically almost done. Will there be a sacrifice phase? No. Pool Party will launch as a complete product and will have a one-time mint phase to get the party token with ETH. How is the party airdrop distributed? A snapshot of staked and liquid balances of all Maximus assets will be taken at some point leading up to the launch. Each token will have a number of airdrop points per token assigned to it. Nobody will know when the snapshot is taken or what the airdrop points for each token is until after it is complete. Then the airdrop list will be generated and encoded into a Merkle tree, much like the Hex Bitcoin free claim, which the party contract will reference, allowing eligible Maximus DAO members to mint free party tokens. So this is pretty interesting. So how do you claim your rewards? So party gets so 1% of the hex that goes into like the pools launched on the platform is shared with party, and the way you claim it, it's actually like a new staking mechanism that I've invented. You actually don't even need to stake. By simply holding the party, you're eligible to claim the hex rewards. The contract records a snapshot of all balances and supply every 7 days. The hex rewards earned in any given week are distributed pro rata to the holders during that week based on the average of their holdings from 1 week to the next. For example, if you held 1% of the party supply on one snapshot date and during that week you bought more and now you have 2% of the supply the following week, you're eligible to claim about 1.5% of the hex rewards delivered to the contract during that week. So this is a really novel model for income distribution in a trustless smart contract. It's based on a system that does these snapshots. And so the benefits of this is that it allows for more fluid reward claiming. Like the team one, that's like a year-long cycle. and which makes sense in the context of team with the perpetuals. But then for this one, the shorter term schedule kind of worked better, and also, I mean, just to kind of reduce the gas fee impact on the claiming the rewards. It's like if your rewards, maybe you earned like, $10 that week. If the gas fee to like stake and end it and claim it was, $8, it kind of washes that out. So I really wanted to minimize the gas fee impact on these on the income distribution for party holders. And so I've built a way to do that doesn't require staking. So it's actually very, very, very effective. And I think it's going to be an awesome user experience just because like you simply just hold the party. And if you held during a time, then you get to claim the rewards. So how does this impact the existing pools? The reality is new stake pools can always be created to compete with existing ones in terms of demand and liquidity. Inevitably, dilution over time will occur. So it's better to be the ones diluting ourselves rather than someone else doing it to us. Currently, the established pools have secured larger T-share rates and substantially larger bigger pays better bonuses. The pool party dashboard will warn users if they're about to join a pool at a worse rate than what they can simply buy on the market from a perpetual pool, and prompt them to simply buy it instead to get the best deal possible. So really, I think that this can be a really effective way to onboard people into the perpetual pools, because it kind of provides some context around it. Because like just like base, trio, lucky, desi, maxi, like on their own as tickers, it kind of requires like prerequisite knowledge about it. But when faced with like the option of like, okay, you can either stake hex by joining a pool, or you can acquire that staked hex on the market and you'll get more for it. That kind of like head-to-head comparison in that moment, I think, can be a really effective way to frame the pools. And so that's why we are really trying to emphasize this like T-share marketplace where where you can find these other ones. And so we think this can be a really effective channel for onboarding hex stakers into these pools, and actually increase the liquidity of these larger pools. And also, I mean, another thing that is a kind of a concept that you see in a lot of places. For instance, the company behind ChatGPT, they just released the API that powers ChatGPT, and by doing that, they effectively like make it so much harder for like a new upstart competitor, like new smaller competitors now have such a harder time competing with the incumbent, because it's like it greased the flagpole, and now it makes it where all the small things have to compete with each other, and that prevents them from being able to compete with the top dogs. And so with the perpetual pools and maxi is like the top dogs of the ecosystem, I actually think that making it easy for new pools to form and then being head-to-head compared against these existing pools that kind of have these inherent advantages, this could, while providing, that utility for people that want to be able to organize their own pools, it actually, I think, can strengthen the perpetual pools and maxi. It's similar phenomena. If you listen back to like old Trace Mayer content from like 2016, he was talking about how he actually was involved with the creation of this tool that made it possible to create a Bitcoin fork with one click. Where you could like click a button, type in your ticker, type in your, the block reward, and just type in a couple different parameters. And then you could launch your own fork of Bitcoin. Because, the more like the more trivial it was to launch a fork of Bitcoin, even though maybe like that could incrementally like redirect, some incoming demand, in general, it makes it harder for those new ones to compete with the big one because they have to compete with each other first. So this will be something that'll be really interesting to see play out, is how do the main pools, thrive in, when like there's, maybe small pools that are coming up, but now they have to kind of compete with each other and dilute each other's bigger pays better bonus, so that'll be very interesting to see. But it like I said, it is inevitable. right when Maxi launched, a bunch of people said they were launching stake pools. There's actually one that launched, and then people minted like 7 million hex into it. But then minutes before the stake started, they actually pulled all the hex out. So it was like a tiny, like 200,000 hex stake. That was the only one that I've actually seen on mainnet. And this time around, it's like, they even on a tweet, they even asked, they even said, don't you think competition's good? And it's like, okay, you want to compete? Let's see it. So, it's like it's definitely inevitable because it's such like an awesome, solution. So, because it is inevitable for other, solutions to try to present themselves, it's like we just want to really lean into our competitive advantages and just get ahead of it, so that we can continue to provide this service to people and keep people in awesome products. Will Pool Party have admin keys? No, Pool Party will be fully trustless, immutable smart contract. Yeah, once it launches, that is it. So what about the perpetuals? The perpetuals have an inherent advantage, starting off so large and locking in a T-share rate almost 10% less than the current rate. If price is at or below the equivalent stake value, you will outperform by simply buying the perpetual pool token closest to the length of the stake pool you're thinking of joining. The minting dashboard will let you know if you would get a better deal on an existing pool. Those that have long-term dollar cost average strategies for the perpetuals will be quite happy if new, lower performing pools remove buying competition from the pool token they're trying to accumulate. So, kind of all depending on your perspective is kind of how you'll view it. If you were looking for quick exit liquidity on perpetuals, maybe seek that during the airdrop snapshot. But it's definitely it's set to be a very competitive space, and it's like, we got to get ahead of it, but the perpetuals have really strong ground to stand on. And it's like, probably people will just not launch new pools around the time of like the base or trio or lucky reload, because it's like those are just like, it'd be like unfair to compete with that. And maybe since we control the site, we just shut off minting for all the other pools during the real deal launches. So who knows? I don't know if we'd actually do that, but it's like, it's your site, you can do what you want. What about end-state gas fees? So each pool token launches with its own gas fee pool. Anyone can deposit ETH or other ERC20 tokens in the gas pool contract to reimburse the person who ends the stake. So I posted a screenshot on Twitter the other day, I think yesterday, showing the contract that I'm getting ready to deploy for Base, because Base is coming up in a couple months. And so just like a simple contract where you can just deposit some ETH in to incentivize someone to end the stake. It's like a perfect solution, because what I like about this, instead of like requiring people or like actually splitting up equally amongst everyone, is that like there's always that class of user who has a big bag and they can probably afford more than the smaller user. And so doing it this way, it allows someone who can otherwise just afford to do it anyways. And like if they were staking that on their own, they'd be paying that themselves anyways. So if they can at least get some reimbursed, it's better than doing it on their own. But then also, like for, a class of user who chooses not to contribute to these gas pools, they experience 0%, like a zero gas fee. And I think that's an awesome experience. And it kind of helps even out that impact of the gas fees, which, I mean, the high gas fees on hex stakes that are based on the length and not the actual size of the stake, it's kind of like a tax on the poor. And so, I think this is like a good way to kind of normalize that, and then just make it more fair, and then just kind of leave it up to just once someone is compelled to end it, they end it. And then you don't have like a bunch of like ETH just kind of they're sitting wasted for too long, or like you don't like overpay if like you split it up equally amongst everyone, because you can't predict what it'll be at the end. So it makes more sense just to make it like a fill up the bucket until someone ends it at the end. So will there be liquidity? So all pool tokens are fully fungible and transferable, but no individual or entity is responsible for providing liquidity or buying pool tokens at any price. The market will determine price and liquidity levels. You should assume relatively low liquidity, like no expectations. Like if it's the same thing. It's like you shouldn't have expectations of liquidity providers. If you want liquidity in there, then you should provide liquidity. But also, if you want exit liquidity for your pool token you hold, go find it. Do onboarding. Tell people about it. Offer a discount. Be willing to sell at a discount to try to find people who are willing to buy your pool token. So if you have any questions, just go to the Maximus Telegram. Do not get scammed. I know that like in the past, people have been getting scammed by fake airdrops. Now there's a real airdrop. Please do not get scammed. Only ask questions in the Maximus chat group or in Twitter in public. Do not reply to DMs. I will not DM you. I won't even read my own DMs, so don't DM me. So just ask all questions in public. Do not get scammed. And I'm really excited to do this. This is, this was literally like, I got to share the screenshot. We have like, I just search pool party in my text messages. It's like literally like May of 2022. We're talking about pool party mock-ups, started writing the contract. And they were like, wait a minute. Like, Maxi was a big success. I think that like doing like a structured like span across those and get like other, get a handful of mega pools would probably be a better first step. So it just seemed a little bit more urgent. And then we're just going to kind of let them marinate a little bit. But, it's like, we came off of, launches at the end of the year last year. And then we just had like a little mini launch with the DCA algorithm, which has been a smashing success at pro.dipcatcher.com. We're like, you know what? Let's keep the gravy train moving and let's make it happen. So we're excited to bring this to you. And since this is all based on really like it's all almost it's basically just a modified version of the team and perpetuals contract, but for like this own use case. So it's already built and audited for the most part, and so our time to market will be quite short. So, and just with all the experience that we've had in building. Like the really really high conversion minting dashboards and everything, and even from like to kind of get ahead of the questions like, oh, what about the poly thing? It's like, think about how much I've learned from that poly issue. Like one, it's like I now I try to point to it as like how it was well designed because with something that I knew I was going to have difficulty in testing accurately. I just baked in a fail-safe mode, and the fail-safe mode worked exactly as intended. And so, like in reality, it worked exactly as intended. Maybe it was a different strategy than what we wanted, but then also it's like staking the Hedron was just an awesome solution. But then aside from that, just think about how much I've learned as a result from that, and how much better of a developer I came. And so, it's like, already way better. Already have like that. I'm so glad that happened because. Now, like in terms of my like development cycle for new smart contracts and like the testing suites that I use and just like the, like all the additional tooling and techniques that I've learned, as a result of that, it's like everything moving forward is just going to be 10 times better, done 10 times faster. So, we're ready to keep it pushing, and this will be an exciting launch. So let's go through the chat. Jim says, it sounds really cool. The airdrop is lovely touch too. Thank you. Let's go. It's been quite a year of Maximus DAO. I remember hiking at Olympic National Park after buying Maxi when it first came out. Many thanks to the Maximus crew. Thank you. Party time. Let's go. Loving the look. Thank you. Here, I'll show you the rest of the look. We got the Vibes. Where is it? The Vibes hoodie. We've got the Flamingo swim trunks. The classic heart-shaped glasses, and a hat that my wife wore to like a 1990s throwback party. Hey, music is just right. You can go up on the music. Hi there. What's up, Lico Dash? Win Maximus Pump Party. Premium has been smoked. Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, it's like, that's it kind of is unrealistic sometimes to expect a premium, right? Like you're like when Maxi was 2 to 1 at that point in time, and there was 15 years left. It's like you're in that case you would be getting 7 years of yield in 15 years. And so, I mean, just in general, like premiums are like very different. I mean, it's like a blessing and a privilege, and but it should not be expected. Like it's kind of that I think with Maxi, people got you know they were exposed to something that was kind of a once in a lifetime type of thing, because at that time there was only one hex stake pool, and two, it attracted an audience that was like mainly people using it for purely staking. They weren't thinking about trading the premium, and so it attracted like a more stake heavy user base who wasn't going to sell. And then also because he was involved in the team launch, which in effect removed about 30% of the Maxi from the circulating supply, like, and the Watsa launch, which removed like another 16% from the circulating supply. It's like there was a huge supply crunch with it moving into addresses, which to date have just sat on them. And then, so yeah, I mean, if you want it to pump, then onboard people into it. That's really the, like, if you want exit liquidity, go find your exit liquidity. See, like the discount's even better because now it's like someone can experience, because like if there's a discount in a pool and you bought the pool token and held it till the end stake, it's like your effective APY would be greater than what you would get, that you could possibly get staking on your own. Like Mr. E, one of our mods in the chat, he was posting a spreadsheet he made that showed that at the current DESI discount, that by buying DESI now and holding until redemption, it's like you're getting like 12 years of yield in 10 years. And so it's like the, or 12 years of yield in 9 years. And so like you can amplify your measured APY by buying discounts in these assets. And so, so the, discounts are really where it's at. And that's what, like the premium, it's like, okay, you dumped on us, you exited. It's like, okay. But the discounts, I think, are really where it's at. What's up, Goldkey? Great job on the site. Everyone go check out this awesome site, hexpool.party. Goldkey made it. It's amazing. Super sweet. Love it. Love the theme. Love the brand. It's awesome. Any fees in starting pool? Yeah, so the fee will get finalized. But right now it's looking like it's just the flat 1% fee on the hex. So that'll be it. Will Maximus DAO tokens that are trapped in an FT or liquidity pool receive the airdrop? So the way that I'm planning on doing this airdrop is that in between 7 days from now and the launch date, and I'm not going to tell anyone when it happens, and I won't tell anyone when it has happened, a block number is going to be selected, and then I'll read from an archive node what the liquid balances were at that time, the team stake balances, the diamond hand balances, and then for DCA, I'll measure who is requested access and also who held DCA token. So, and as far as liquidity pools, it's like the liquidity pool is just an address, and so there's kind of no differentiating what that would be. And so, like effectively, it's like the liquidity pool would be eligible for that airdrop, but I don't think the liquidity pools can just call functions to claim an airdrop. So, so yeah, at this point, anything outside of kind of like the standard issue things that I've launched probably won't be eligible. Yeah, and especially in the liquidity pool, because like when your coins in the liquidity pool, it's like you're effectively selling the coins. Like if you have Maxi in the liquidity pool, you're selling. It's almost like as if you've already sold, right? It's like you gave up your Maxi, you now have the liquidity pool NFT, and so in effect you've sold your Maxi already, and so like you're no longer a holder of that Maxi. So the liquidity pools probably won't get it, and you're like if it's trapped in that NFT, I don't know. I mean that may be too one off to do, but if you DM me and let me know more details. Well, actually, no, don't DM me, please don't, because I don't look at DMs. If you just tweet at me and show me what's going on with that, and if there's like enough people that have that, um, perhaps we can come to a solution. But I mean, it should be like I don't want to go all over the place trying to do that for like an incremental amount. So sounds pretty cool. I gave out my buddy passes. Enjoy the buddies. Nice. But if you minted them, you'll have your mint record in there. So you'll get credit for that. Join the pool party. That's right. You guys never stop working. It's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is very important work to be done, and it's like we survived the bear market, and Hex is only looking stronger, and so we're only more compelled to build in the Hex ecosystem. Hey, what up? What up? Look at all those. I see one banned emoji. Hit the like. Pound it. What up? Pound that button and share. So many pump bundles for Hex to the Maximus ecosystem. Do Diamond Hand tokens get a higher weight for the party airdrop? So I really don't want to say anything about which ones in particular are going to get higher or lower. Like maybe, I don't know. Just it'll become clear after the fact, and I think everyone will be happy as a result. T-share marketplace. That's right. Smart. I like the ability to name the pool. Oh yeah. God, I bet the first one that's going to be named is going to be like Boo. I'm worried. What kind of egregious shit are people going to post? Should we censor it? Should we have a banned word list? We don't take a backseat to anyone. I trust the rarity of water, and DCA holders will be rewarded nicely. Holding all since mint day. Longer pays better. Oh, yeah. You know what's going on, Liquidity. Right? And I mean, that would be a good way to do an air, things where, like where it's like, I mean, DCA is a little different, but just slightly, but like water, especially like water backed by nothing. That was like high risk to get into water. And so, maybe there should be some extra reward for kind of these like higher risk ones, like compared to like the lower risk ones that are like effectively like asset backed tokens. Bloody hell, another one. Seek help. I should be saying the same to you, man. The correct term is thank you for all your work. No, okay, so earlier I used to kind of like when people say, oh, another thing, I would just instantly just like challenge their ability, like, be like, oh, you only say that because you've never created anything, you don't have the capacity to create anything, and no one cares about anything that you might create. And so I used to come at people really hard like that, but I think by now I just want to kind of take a different stance and just say, hey man, thank you for your opinion. I'll file that away in the opinions folder and we'll keep it moving. So party means the perpetuals are obsolete. No, I mean, if anything, the perpetual has now become stronger because any competing pool now has to fight against all these other little mini pools, and it becomes clear in that context which pool is the most desirable. So no, like the perpetuals have those inherent advantages that I outlined before, and so no. It's like, the competition was going to happen anyways, and so, we're of course going to get ahead of it, and that's just like a strategic decision. New perpetual. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, I don't know. We were going to make this a surprise, but I guess not now that I'm already said it. So in the launch, because how you can set this organizer fee here. So it's not shown here, but you can set an organizer fee. So if you're organizing a pool, You can just set that, and then you'd get, you know, whatever that fee is. Then users would have to decide if they want to join that pool based on the size of the fee. So when this launches, we're actually going to launch a new pool for Team to earn from. So a new income stream has come to Team as like the first example of how to use this. When we deploy this, it'll be deployed with a pool where Maximus Team is the organizer fee, like the organizer address. And so, you know, like if you're familiar with the Maximus Team contract, like any hex, no matter what the source that enters the team contract in the year, is gonna earn from, is gonna, you know, just be split up. And so through this, that's like the second part of the airdrop, is that we're giving the team people another income source. So maybe we'll have something where like the team stakers can vote on what they think the length of the pool should be and what it should be named. Maybe we'll do something fun like that. But yeah, so that organizer fee, and really, I mean, like any of the existing pools can have that, you know, because like basically every single one of the products, meaning Maxi, Team, Base, Trio, Lucky, Desi, and Poly, and the Diamond Hand contract addresses. Literally, you could create a pool that pays into the Diamond Hand contracts of any of them. So literally, like across all the assets, because all the reward mechanisms are kind of rooted in the same premise, where any hex coming in, no matter what the source, is distributed equally amongst the people, like the qualified people. You know, so like Team is going to have its own one, and maybe, you know, if the Lucky community wants to organize a pool, maybe they want to organize like a 6-year pool that ends like right before theirs does, so that they can get people to funnel into Lucky at the next one. So it's like, even though these are perpetuals, like, you know, maybe they want people to stake until the next Lucky cycle, and then they redeem from that pool and then roll into Lucky. Maybe the Lucky fanatics want to create a pool where Lucky address is the organizer address. And so we'll start it off with Team as like a new income source for Team, but that is really flexible in terms of how it interoperates with the existing products. Sandy Beach, do Team stakers get Hedron and Bigger Pays Better bonus from party pools? Yes. No. So the Hedron and that'll be different. It's being replaced with like an upfront collection fee instead of the at the end one from the Hedron and Bigger Pays Better. And so that'll be a little bit different in that sense. And well, so and it's party that earns on the new party pools, except for ones where Team is the you know, like the organizer fee. Did someone say pool party? I'm already. Time flies. The bear has been about creating future wealth. The bull will be glorious. Yeah, I made a typo in that when I was writing that. Sorry, guys. How is this different from what the guys at Magic Carpet are doing? I guess it's different in the sense that this was built months ago. You know, it's built by people that have done this over and over again, you know, with great success, and, you know, really experienced in this category of products. I'm not going to comment what I think about what they're doing, because I'll let them make their own mistakes. You know, but it's, you know, yeah, I mean, if they can well, it's different in the sense that they need to raise a bunch of money up front to hire developers to make it, and unlike us, where we can literally just roll it out entirely, build it on our own, we're like, you know, because I'm sure that they're hex subject matter experts, but I doubt the developers they're hiring are. And so like big advantage in our case is that like we're the subject matter experts and we're building it, and we have experience building this and other products, like, you know, like, so you know, different in terms of like, I would say the qualification, you know, not to be like a person, you know, just like, you know, that's you know, difference there. And I think they have a different dynamic with the like the gas pooling, and yeah, they're focused. I think they're more focused on things that we strategically don't focus on. But you know, what's that saying? Like, you let your competitors make their own mistakes or something. So yeah, but It's more like I should put here. Who wants to see a screenshot of when pool party came to be? Let's do this. Oh my god, did my tweet not go out? Oh yeah, I did. Here, let's take a look at this. Who wants to see when? If I should go to my messages and I search pool party, scroll down all the way back there, take a screenshot. Let's airdrop this. Let's just tweet it out. Pool party has been in the works since date. Let's see. So here, oh yeah, wrong screen. Let's share another tab. Do you see this? I mean, look at that. Let's send now. Pool party. Wow. I was probably replying to like Goki probably sent me like a logo and a little thing. I think we should build the dashboard that encapsulates our liquid stakes, including max. Yeah, pool party, or just have that be pool party, and launching your own as a feature we launch at some point. Yeah, so launching your own as a feature we launch at some point. Decided 5/24/22. Maximus pool party. Will the team model be our business model when we roll out pool party? So I kind of like the reward sharing. I want to write up our whole roadmap all the way to pool party to publish. I think people looking for, which we never did. We didn't even write roadmaps. We just launched product. We got to move fast to get to pool party on July 6th. That's funny. The part of the team contract that deploys the base contract is basically the same thing as pool party. Party can be the token that you staked or earned from all the pools organized for themselves. So pool party has that it was literally the original idea that became the perpetuals, but you know, we kind of boiled it back to like what can we roll out sooner to achieve the same thing, and that's what we did. So Hank Hill says swag, they ain't got it. All right, Blue Bone, what's up man? Poly discount is crazy. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I think that just like how long it is, it really shows that people maybe don't think as long term as they act like they do. And also like the demographic of people that joined anything long term, it was like intending for a quick flip. Like Desi has a big discount because people were hoping for a quick flip. Combined with it being so far away, it's like, you know, that it's there. But also, I mean, it's like the discount, well, Poly's different because there's not like the early end stake penalty like there is with the hex stakes, where like you have to wait halfway through to get your principal, and then for a big chunk of that early stage you'll get nothing, like full nuke. So I mean, other than I think base is past the full nuke. Let's see. Actually, I don't have it on my sticker app. But like if the stake would have otherwise got a full nuke, like any price is like an infinite premium. So that's kind of how it is. And also, buying Poly is like buying long dated Hedron and Icosa bag, and then discounted to the present, discounted per the liquidity on the derivative. And so, it's kind of like where it irons out. I'm actually surprised that it's not way less. He's gonna try to buy more perps, but couldn't find any sizable liquidity. What were you trying to use? You should look at the DeFi Llama Meta Dex aggregator. That can kind of help you in that case. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like maybe there's just not much for sale, and what that means is like may have to find a higher price. Prepare for maxi liquidity crunch, maybe. It's like these are all part of a fluid ecosystem with competitive forces from within and from without. It's like probably the main competitor is just Liquid Hex, because it's been on such a run lately and it's very liquid. So that also contributes to it, as well as that, like, when you're buying a pool token, you're swapping your hex for like a slightly less liquid version of it that's earning yield. So it's more liquid than if you were staking on your own, but less liquid than just holding Liquid Hex. And so that's kind of just what the market price is in with that. I'm late. What good, guys? What'd I miss? Pool party. You're invited. Thankful I replenished all the maxi I committed to the team about 3 weeks ago. Wow, that's the move. So you dumped your maxi on the mystery box's head when the prices were 2.6 to 1. And now you bought back. Dude, great job. You're a badass. I apologize for coming this late. Could you please summarize this new pool party in short paragraph for me? Yeah, so it's a platform for organizing hex stake pools, just like the perpetuals. So community organized stake pools, and a platform for discovering the best deals on stake hex pools. So pool party. Does it not make sense to simply reverse out the math for a liquidity pool? What does that mean? Simply reverse out the math. Can I assume the pool will require water? Well, water is eligible for the airdrop, and anyone who minted water has a very special place in my heart. That's for sure. So, any airdrop for liquidity providers? I mean, so the liquidity provider, like I touched on that earlier. Like the snapshot mechanism I'm using for collecting who owns it, the liquidity pool is technically the owner of the maxi pool tokens. And so, which I'm fine with having it that way, because by being a liquidity provider with the pool token, that means that it's like you've already sold it. It's like you've pre-committed it to be sold. And so, it's like you're no longer a holder in that sense. You are a holder that you can pull your liquidity and reclaim it, but until you do that, you hold the liquidity pool position. You don't hold the stake pool position. So that's why that's not there. Maybe no. I mean, I really don't want to unpack the liquidity pools. So if you want it, you're gonna have to pull it out of there. And I don't think that the fee, the volume has been particularly high such that they're paying a lot of fees right now. So, it's up to you though. But that'll be for the liquidity providers to figure out on their own. Did MCR not ever reach out to you? I don't know. I don't look at my DMs. I looked at them for stuff related to DCA, but a million people reach out to me asking can I help them build their idea? And it's like I've already got too many of my own ideas to build, and their budget's probably not high enough. So timestamp this moment for the naysayer. Yeah, I thought about saying the timestamp already happened, but no, I do want to be fair, especially for the liquidity providers. How will people able to trade each pool? Will there be enough liquidity? Maybe not. And maybe that's what will funnel people into the perpetuals, is just like, it's like if there's a bunch of these small ones that are non-differentiable from each other, all competing for that small amount of liquidity, then maybe people will just choose to buy the perpetuals. But also, it's like, could be the other way around. Maybe with smaller pools, because there's just less supply overhead, maybe some of these ones bake in instant premiums, and so that causes a lot more people to be minting there, and then that kind of normalizes. So the liquidity, it's a function of demand. Like when people are saying, will there be enough liquidity, what they're really saying is, will there be enough buyers? And it's kind of the same deal with anything. It's like, yeah, everyone wants exit liquidity. PP ticket already taken. No, I wasn't going to do PP. It's kind of played out. Threes. Oh, wow. Someone, I didn't know you could do this. Name, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Couldn't do without you, man. Name's a legend. How's fatherhood going? You having fun? Pulse ticker is also already taken, but we'll take over. PLS ticker. We already dominate the hashtag. Nice shades. Thank you. For the most part, flippers are not going to make it. Good to see you, fam. Reverse out the math for liquidity pool. So the Uniswap pair does not get the airdrop, but the address providing liquidity do. Well, so like I said, I don't, maybe for people with buy support, like people with buy side liquidity in there, but still, it's like they still don't own the token. Like if you deposit your maxi in the liquidity pool, you own a receipt to that liquidity pool position, which could be, so it's like you've already pre-committed to selling. So by putting your maxi or anything in the pool at all to start, then you don't. But maybe if someone comes to me with a good solution to do this in a fair way, maybe. But at least the way I view it now, it's that if you have your pool token in the liquidity pool, then it's like you don't have it. The liquidity pool owns it. You have the receipt to it. So that's my thinking now. I could be persuaded otherwise. I am fully open to being persuaded, because that would be fair. But at the same time, it's like they've already it's like they've sold their tokens. So it's like they don't own it anymore. They own something else. Demand for exit liquidity will exist. Well, everyone wants exit liquidity. You mean like the exit liquidity, like so the demand that that reveals itself via exit liquidity. I mean, it's not so much as a result of the T-share rate rising. It's really just like speculation on the hex price. It's like the hex price times the yield. So I'd say it's more likely to happen as the daily payout per T-share rate goes up, more so than just the T-share on itself rising. Thank you so much for all your work, DC. Truly amazing, the products you're pumping out. Looking forward to owning 10 Maximus DAO products. Wow, you're right, 10 out of 10. Liquidity pool owning, it is very understandable. Math is easy for UniV2 style. It could be discounted. Yeah, I mean, they're all UniV3, and it's like, what do I do? Like, yeah, I mean, that is, it is a challenge there. But I mean, if you point me to how to reverse engineer that math to like get a fair solution, then maybe. But I mean, like I said, like if you put your pool token in a liquidity pool, it's like you've already sold it, so it's like you don't own it anymore. But maybe. What will the utility for party token? What the point of the token itself? Well, it determines who gets to share the rewards from the pools that are organized in the platform. So that's the main one. Two, it is a signal of people that know what's going on. Like if you have party token, it's like you instantly differentiate yourself from other people. But mainly it's an accounting tool for the income distribution. What will be the utility part of party? I already talked about that. Okay, supply. So the supply will be 42,000. Here, let's go to that. So the total supply is going to be 42069 times 1.10. The total supply is going to be 46,275.9 times the number of ETH that are minted in the 30-day period. So yeah, that's the supply. It's based on the number of ETH that are minted, and it's distributed to the minters, and then that 10% airdrop goes to Maximus DAO holders. In terms of like how many tokens per token, that'll reveal itself afterwards. It's like there's a couple coins that I hold near and dear to my heart amongst all of them. Just kind of based on like what they were for, what the outcome was, just kind of how it all played out. Personality types of the people that were drawn to particular ones. But it'll be the airdrop breakdown will be, it'll reveal itself after the fact, but it will be fair, right? I mean, like no one's getting screwed here, and it's free money. So I look at pool tokens as capturing old t-shirt rates. Guess it depends on how long. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah, I mean that like the perpetuals, this t-shirt rate was like 24,400. Now it's 26,400. So that's pretty significant increase to date. And you're getting them at the ones that are at a discount. You're getting them. You get 1.2 tokens per 1 hex you buy with. And so like not only are you getting cheaper discount on a per hex principal basis, you're getting more of them per dollar. So yeah, you're right there. Walk through the distribution method you mentioned. So if you mean the airdrop distribution, oh, you're talking about the sure. So I don't get where the hex rewards come from. Just like a simple stake pooling fee paid in hex. So when pools organize, like it'll probably be 1%, and still deciding if it's going to be 1% upfront or like 0.5% upfront, and then the other 0.5% at the end. Still sorting that out. That'll be finalized quite soon. But just from the incoming hex, so it's like for the perpetuals, the amount that was shared with team, it ended up around, some of them were less than 1%. And it's all based on the size. So that like 1% seems fair. And considering just like the gas fee savings trumps that. especially for smaller pools. And also, I mean, just like the platform for like issuing and managing, like operating like your whole thing, it just all comes from there. So it's like, so I think it's quite fair, probably underpaid. Every time we launch one of these, I feel like the like team should have got the whole bigger pays better bonus instead of just half, and team probably should have got more on top of that as well up front. But I don't know what it'll be like 1% about. So yeah, it just comes from that, and that's just like the fee for using the service. Yeah, so that, but I mean so it's also like kind of like something with team where it's like a growth incentive to try to get participation in these pools. But also, team is going to have its own organizer fee one, and so in that case, it's like there's the baseline fee to the party holders, and then there's like the optional organizer fee if people want to join that as well. So, but yeah, still finalizing that exact fee structure. And if you have feedback on that, please let me know. But that's what we've come to so far, is just like a simple fair fee. Thanks for the DeFi Llama tip. Purchasing the most efficient way to collect T-shares. Oh yeah, I was answering this guy's question. So here's so Open Zeppelin is a company that makes pre-audited smart contract components that you can use that just help you like do standard things that without like risking building it on your own and messing up. And so they have a tool called ERC20 Snapshot, and so this lets you capture the balance of everybody at these moments in time. So you can record a balance of so like the account, and then the snapshot ID, and then total supply of the snapshot ID. And so now what you can do is with like the external contract, which is actually called the reward distribution contract. So the reward distribution contract is actually where you go and claim your rewards. And so the reward distribution contract reads these balance of and total supply values from the contract. And so that it can know what percent of the party supply you held at this snapshot date. And then it matches the snapshot date to like when it received that hex rewards. And then that's how it knows how many you're eligible to claim. So going with snapshot will cost Oven. Snapshot creation is O of 1. Retrieval of balances or total supply from a snapshot is O log N. Although N for a specific account will be generally smaller since identical balances in subsequent snapshots are stored as a single entry. So O log N. So like with log of say there's 10,000 people, that's O4. So it does say there's constant overhead for normal ERC20 transfers due to the additional snapshot bookkeeping. The overhead is only significant for the first transfer that immediately follows a snapshot for the particular account. So, so like if you happen to just send you're right after the snapshot, it may cost you more than just like a normal transfer, but then subsequent will have normal costs until the next snapshot. So, I'm thinking about ways to kind of do this where it's all bundled in the snapshot gas fee, where just like the snapshot, even though like the snapshot's efficient, and retrieval is efficient as well, but like kind of that. And this is what like I honestly would have done the team one, but I didn't quite understand this. For now, I understand this system way better than I did last year. That I'm trying to think of a way to kind of bundle that in there with that snapshot one. Yeah, and so the snapshot is a public function, so anyone can run it if they to keep the rewards moving forward. But no one's forced to run it, and it doesn't require someone to run it, but it's eligible to be run every 7 days to kind of cap that off. And so probably just make it like that, and then in terms of paying for that snapshot, maybe it would be nice if there's something that caused a bunch of ETH to go into into a contract. So, but we'll see. As of now, that's just going to be payable by whomever pays the gas. Celebrities or someone like Ivan on Tech should start pools. Might be lucrative. That'd be pretty cool. Do you think this is your best project yet? I mean, I think that the team I think is the best one. This is like a second best, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's because like this was the original idea, and then Team and the Perpetuals came about as like the improvement to that idea. I think this one's good, and it like rounds out kind of another side of this whole ecosystem that is, that's the, it's hard to say, but I don't know. Sometimes I think that water's the best one. Sometimes I think DCA is the best one. I think Poly could end up being the highest yielding one just because it's like earning a shocking amount of ICOSA. And if like by the time the ICOSA stake ends, that'll be about 15 years from now. And by then, all of the Hedron kind of amplified inflation from the launch bonuses will be gone. And however much Hedron is just burnt in the meantime. And if a rising Hedron tide lifts the ICOSA tide, and if ICOSA can go anywhere near its arbitrage level based on the share rate in 15 years, like the Hedron and ICOSA in that Poly token could be shockingly valuable, like higher yielding than all the other things combined. So I don't know. They're all great. They're all truly great. You could do it with the Merkle trees, just publish the CSV so that anyone can generate their own proof. Oh, so the snapshot I was talking about was like the weekly party holder snapshot to determine who earns yield. But are you talking about the Merkle tree for the airdrop snapshot? Yeah, so this will be submitted beforehand. So yeah, like people before the launch happens, but it'll be after the snapshot's taken. So I heard that John Stamos was getting into this as well. Oh yeah, and same with Renee Zellweger. Man, thanks for all you do. I've Hex, Hedron, ICOSA, and haven't committed to your stuff yet. However, I'm getting more curious as to which routes to go with your things. They seem amazing. Yeah, I mean, it really spans the whole spectrum. It's like we have Maxi, which is like the, like highest risk because like highest risk stake pool because it's so long away. Then Desi, a little less risky, Lucky, Trio, Base. So we kind of span that whole yield risk spectrum. And then we have the coins like Team, which earn from the success of the perpetuals. We have, upcoming Party, which will earn from the success of like this other take on stake pools, like smaller stake pools as opposed to kind of like the bigger ones that Team kind of dominates. We have Poly, which is like a high risk speculative play on Hedron, which has its own origin story, which I think we're going to look back on in years and be like, wow, this is pretty amazing how it all turned out. And like the related tokens for that with like Water, which is like a total wild card. And then also we have the most recent one. It was more like a mini launch. I don't classify that as kind of these larger like platform launches. like with the dip catcher algorithm. So far, let's look at that. We haven't looked at the numbers on that. Pro.dipcatcher.com. So far we've had 830 mints. 831 people have minted their access passes and buddy passes. I've given about 400 people have claimed their spot in the thing. So yeah, DCA was awesome. But that was more like, not like a kind of like crypto derivative asset. It was more of like a software tool that you could buy to have access to. Yeah, so the solution here for the snapshot for the yield doesn't require admin control and doesn't require off-chain computation. The snapshot for the airdrop, requires off-chain computation, which is okay, because it's like it's before it's launched, so it's not like it's doing it after the fact. And I mean, it's free money too, so it's like, there's some margin for error. I mean, there shouldn't be any error at all with it, but like there's some margin for error in that setting. But yeah, I mean, if you have yeah, let's talk about it. Thank you. Thanks for the offer. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Wow. So far we have 356 unique visitors to the site, 592 page views, 218 came from Twitter, 20 from YouTube, some others. Nice. It's awesome. What a community. That's right. All right, you guys. Does anyone else have any more questions before we get going? Let's look at the hex chart. Oh my God. Got up to, I guess we've been busy here. Haven't even been on the charts. Look at that. What an amazing year we've had. Hex just doesn't stop, you guys. Hex. Oh, you guys aren't even seeing what I'm looking at. Hex does not stop. $7.64. New all-time highs from the year. Let's go back in time. Who remembers what it was like the first time when Hex went up these levels? That was crazy. So that last time it was here was July 2021. And so that at that point in time, from the big payday dip down through, that was a 21x move. So people had experienced about 21x in like just under a year. This time around, from our local bottoms, it's only like 327%. just because price didn't get as low as it was back then. But what's pretty interesting is that it's the same move that we've experienced from the bottom. That was like from so many ads on TradingView. May 2021 to June. So like how many weeks? Like mid-June, literally just over a month, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 weeks took us to get there. And then in this case, took us like 1, 2, 3, literally almost similar move, very similar move to last time we were here. And then last time that we had made that move from 1.6 cents to the current levels, we went another 529% from there to the all-time highs. So we're really not that far off. I mean, in hex terms, like in real world financial market terms, 529% is like generational moves. But in here, that happens in just a couple weeks. But that's in a raging bull market. Things were crazy. It was stupid. Like, I don't have it here. I literally made t-shirts with the price chart. It was like 40 cents when I made this shirt. That was when I was like, all right, I think the top is in. Like if I'm sitting here compelled to make a t-shirt with the price chart, then this is not normal. Dip TA time. So you're saying you'll need to submit ETH and be redeemed for party? Yeah. So like you'll mint party by depositing ETH, and I guess it kind of goes without saying. We'll probably add that to like the more when we add more information to the site. Like zero expectations. It's like the party's yours, the ETH is no longer yours. Choose for yourself. Do not part with any money you're going to miss. And that's purely to determine who is going to get the party tokens, which have lifetime access to earnings from the system. Draw us lines. Okay. We'll draw some lines and then we'll probably hop off. Let's do some hex moon math here. So let's zoom out all the way. All right, guys. If we hit 2.58, that's too high. I can't even see on the chart. If we hit 2.58 times 10 to the $21, one hex will. How high could hex go? That's the question. Boom. What up, hexagons? What up? Let's see what people on Twitter are saying about it. Dipcatcher, you believe in Jesus? I mean, I believe Jesus believes in me. I grew up Catholic. I kind of relate to a lot of religions, but I'm also, and I appreciate the premise of Jesus. And I do ask myself in many, maybe it's just because I grew up like, but like kind of like a what would Jesus do type of thing. I think Jesus is a powerful symbol for a lot of people, and I'm inspired by anything where someone is a martyr for some cause that they believe in at the hands of the political powers at the time. It's like Jesus was killed by Pontius Pilate for introducing new ideas and commanding influence over people, and so and I think there's a powerful narrative in that. In terms of like just kind of like organized religion, I think it's all kind of wonky. I mean, it's just like another thing, It's just like another group thing. But I have lots of forgiveness in my heart and love in my heart for others, which I think is like a very Jesus type thing. But I mean, I relate to a lot of religions. Like I said in a tweet earlier, a couple weeks ago, I was in Utah, and I really connected with the people in Utah because I too believe that the Garden of Eden was located in Jackson County, Missouri. So I relate to Mormonism for that reason. I relate to Islam, equity-based money. I believe in that. I really like that about Islam, kind of like monetary policy related to it. I think Kwanzaa has good meaning. Scientology's fun. Like it all is kind of fun. Beautiful take. Thank you. What website rules them all when it comes to all your sites, all tokens, portfolio, and all things Maximus style? So where can I find spreadsheets to the start? Yeah, so we need to the portfolio kind of has its role. MaximusStyle.com has its role, and then there's each of the dashboards for just actually like interacting with the contracts. All those are getting consolidated into the Maximus Style portfolio site. Just haven't done that yet. And now there's xpool.party. So yeah, we gotta work on that. Some type of like all-in-one consolidation thing. If someone wants to help us out with that, please do. It's like we definitely hit it hard with like kind of building and pushing forward, but I think we could benefit from kind of consolidating some stuff into more discoverable sites. And then the spreadsheet you mentioned at the start, I think Mystery posted it somewhere. Let me see. Maybe it's in here. I'll try to find it. Search Mystery on Twitter. He was tweeting about it the other day. You guys want to see the glasses that I was going to wear on the stream? I was going to put on these goggles, but they literally have like sand and beach water from last time I wore them, but I was gonna rock these on the stream today, but I couldn't see out of them. I'm excited for the airdrop. That's gonna be fun. All right, you guys. Just saw the announcement. Exciting times. Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I think all hell's gonna break loose. Let's look at the charts, see if anything's gone before we eat off. Base is at 1.0235 hex. Trio is at 1.05 hex. Poly 0.75 hedron. Lucky 0.877. Deci 0.80. Maxi at 1.19. And hex at 7.7 cents. It's amazing. Truly incredible. All right, you guys. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk more on this soon. Optimal Timeline says, I love this community. I love this community too. Have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.